Well, hello there, my darlings, and welcome to Soulframe Preludes. Technically, this isn't the Soulframe game as we're gonna know it. Someone was very kind in my Discord and gave me a redemption code so that I could go and play it for a bit because I was intrigued. So thank you, Ink. I don't know how to pronounce that, but thank you, my darling. And I thought I was recording my own voice whilst I recorded, but I didn't. So I'm just going to talk over it a little bit and tell you what a Warframer thinks of Soulframe. And it started off slow. And I also stuffed up the beginning because I didn't have my settings right and I pressed the wrong buttons. But we'll get into it, okay? And I just want to tell you that it is a beautiful game, even in its like pre-alpha state. It's got a lot of like cozy gaming vibes. It's very chilled, but also kind of violent and cute. You know, like myself. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we?
It began as song, pitched sweet and solemn, and they that heard came hollow, fallen. Their children raised in castles loft, made hunters grave, of others not.
Remember this. We are a family.
Yet beyond the pale of Odin's sky live verdant fields of rain and wild, where omen beasts of Alka's lost remember still until the ghost. So listen well, envoys of shame, and bear their souls within your frame. Find your spirit, your grace renewed, and return to earth her power true. Join us, won't you?
That is one thing DE, the devs, are really good at, is an intro. Among other things. I mean, it's quite the vista, isn't it? I accidentally chose this Soulframe, this envoy, I guess. I was just pressing buttons. I was more concerned about the fact that I hadn't got my settings right. But I started to look at all these different areas. The Fae that we just looked at briefly, I think that's like our abilities. This seems like boosts and boons. We've got our spirit, who knew empathy, imagination, and arcanics. Grace, which is bestowing cunning, agility, and something else, and Mora gave strength, bravery, and resolve. Because I think this whole game is about redemption, isn't it? It's linked to your ancestors. Anyway, moving on from it. So you see that green arm we've got going on? That looks like it's Fae to me, and this is like 3 abilities that you get. It's kind of like au natural. You've got kind of birds flapping around and butterflies, and you know, the nature is helping you. But as we change to the other ability set, which is the Ode Tempest, our arm changes to that metal one, and then we have these sort of more like elemental effects like electricity and fire. And then I chose the polearm weapon because I'm fond of a polearm weapon and I didn't really know what else to go for. The weaponry in this one weapon I had felt a bit clunky, but later on we do get hold of another weapon. Oh, and this is another screen. I accidentally pressed a button and it disappeared and I couldn't find it again. It was like a welcome message from the devs at DE, and I was like, oh god, I'm gonna read all of this, and then I pressed the button and it had gone. Could I find this goddamn message again for Preludes 7? 7 is just the amount of updates they've done. And the very first thing I had to do was log straight back out and sort my settings out because my screen was a mess. It wasn't like a borderless full screen or anything. It was just crazy. And I can't put my normal shader effects over the top of this game at this point. So we're just using the in-game effects for the screen, and it's kind of crisp and clear. I like it. And then you've got this lovely old map that looks like it's been painted on canvas, but you can't read the writing, man. What is it about DE? They're obsessed with other languages that don't exist. So no clue what that says. Maybe we'll find out at some point in the future, but you know, based on Warframe, maybe not. And then these familiar things like emotes. This made me feel right at home. And the chat as well in the bottom left of the corner, that also, you know, felt very like, you know, Warframe. Yep, that's me, immediately distracted by all the cutesy things. And just look at the scenery. When it turns to nighttime, it was beautiful. And I've turned some of my settings down just so I can record and not have too much stutter. My poor CPU can't keep up with everything. But even with the settings turned down, you've still got these beautiful crisp details, right? Oh, this is like... it's a save point, but also feels like a fast travel point. I didn't realize it at this point, but later on when I find others, you can go into them and it kind of like pokes you out at the last one, I guess. And true to DE style, they just don't hold your hand here. I've seen quite a few people putting in the chat whilst I've been playing, what do I do? Where do I go? It's like, well, honey, just have a wander. This is me actually going to my ancestral plane, which I believe, based on playing already, you'll find ancestors and they'll populate this astral plane like ghosts. And I'm guessing you're going to be trying to redeem their memories for them or something. But it's also like an inventory area where you can come and like add skill points that you earn throughout playing. So I haven't earned any of those skill points for our courage and grace, etc. yet, but I think I earned some weapon points, and also my abilities. I was able to rank those up quite quickly, which we'll have a look at later. But it is beautiful, isn't it? Look at the details just on the screen where the light's reflecting. It's those kind of things that make me fall in love with the game. Now, the one thing I was going to say is when I first saw the demo, them playing this at TennoCon or whenever they played it, for us to have a look at, I wasn't really drawn to it. I thought it was a beautiful game, but I was like, yeah, that's not going to be my kind of game. Because it reminded me very strongly of Duviri from Warframe. I don't know if you've ever played Warframe. I have a lot of Warframe content, but one thing you won't find in my Warframe content is much Duviri. And that's because I just don't enjoy playing Duviri. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful place to be, but it's not for me because Warframe's, you know, a fast-paced game. By the way, the animations with this giant wolf, chef's kiss, they go on for just a little moment longer than you're used to in an animation, to the point where it's almost like, are they trying to get me to slow down here? I feel like they're trying to get me to slow down here. And when I first started playing this game, I felt a little bit like this is very slow. Almost like that's a bad thing. Like my brain wants full-on, fast-paced gaming all the time. However, a couple hours into this game, when I started to have a good wander and find stuff and get into it a bit more, I actually started to enjoy it. I started to revel in that slower pace, being able to wander around and take things in. Anyway, I'm just about to stumble upon a thing, which is what happens in this game.
It is hopeless, little one. Hopeless. The Valadier goddesses
Wondrous precious prince, what soulless thing says words?
Chosen sword to soul.
Oh, and just for reference, this game had not told me how to fight. I didn't know what buttons to press. I didn't know what I was doing. It was a literal baptism of blades and fire and just mashing things and hoping for the best. I didn't figure out for ages even how to use my abilities. I wasn't looking at the bottom right hand part of the screen properly. I mean, it's clearly very much like the Warframe abilities. Why my brain didn't make that connection, I can never explain to you, I'm afraid. And then I was irked because I kept like vaulting everywhere, like this electrical charge coming off me, and could I stop it? I wasn't sure how to stop it, whether I should be stopping it. Yeah, it was a work in progress, and I promise you it gets better. So if you're not enjoying this, like watching this, this woman derping around this game trying to figure it out, like, what's wrong with you? It's hilarious. Anyway, hopefully we're going to come across a bit of the storyline-ish, kind of, or one of these side quest situations. I don't even know what is storyline at the moment, and because it's not like a complete polished game, I'm just going with the flow, man, and enjoying whatever it is I can see. And I love that little bird, by the way. That's one of our little spirit guides that's just going to help us, like a navigation, essentially. And I keep finding these little bits of paper here and there, and I'm not really sure what they're for. But anyway, let's explore this castle.
By the mothers divine and humble, the old have burned the great pensive's archive. Now words leave wound in smoke. Perhaps you and I might do something about it. What do you say?
I mean, I yearn to do that in real life, just like slowly hold eye contact while raising my arm, clicking my fingers, and a ethereal bird just appears out of nowhere and flies off, and I just shoot off behind it. That's clearly one of my goals in life. I love that vibe. Anyway, found, I think, an ancestor. Can't remember his name. And now we've got to go and find a quill. And the bird is showing us the way. So we haven't had to set these quests. They're sort of automated. And I mean, I got lost at one point and I was just wandering, and then I remembered that I could click my fingers and my bird's gonna like guide me back to the main quests or the side quests that I was supposed to be doing. And it did work. It was like, oh yeah, I've got totally distracted here and lost because I just went off hunting. I ended up down by the coast. It was beautiful. I'll show you that later. But anyway, yes, we're on the hunt for a quill. In memory of the last pensive who haunts this tower still, we reclaimed from sinecure the spectre's solemn quill. Was it stolen? Anyway, it's stolen, not solemn. Coffee, get it right. I don't know. I'm not very good at reading under pressure, okay? Don't stress me. I'm joking. Anyway, so we take the quill back to this dude and it kind of progresses us a little bit. And the one thing that I kind of liked is that the screen isn't too cluttered. There's like a navigation thing at the bottom. We've got our abilities on the bottom right. There's now and again the quest will pop up on the top left. And whatever we're picking up is on the bottom left. Oh, and if anybody knows what these are and what I'm supposed to be doing with them, can you tell me? I put it in the Q&A in the game because I keep finding them and I don't know how to interact with them, or like if I don't need to, just tell me. I don't need to worry about it because it was bugging me. As you can see, I was swinging my weapon around and pressing all sorts of buttons, but it wasn't helping, it wasn't working, and I want to know what it is. Is it a portal? I found another one later and I was like, oh my goodness, why can't I interact with this? Anyway, let's go back to our ancestor.
I mourn the bicameral. I fold the spine and say goodbye. My will is signed to you. With blood and cinder.
Now, I came back to the Nightfold mainly to pet my giant wolf, but also to find my ancestor. And could I find this dude? It took me so long. I came back here multiple times. Yeah, there's a glowy light right behind us, and all we had to do is interact with it. And I realised that as I turn away from the wolf, this moment that it's behind me, I was looking at the cooking pot. You can hear like a tinkling noise, and there it is. The glowy light.
My sage study here in Fold of Night. So many genius works left half written. There is no future for a pastless people, Envoy. Our minds and shelves emptied. Yes, it seems time at last to finish my book. But what title is worthy of the Orem Canus seal?
So when I went into my little sort of inventory screen where it tells me I've got all these tabs across the bottom, it took me straight to locations from Orlick. But there was another bit later where it says kind of deepen your bond with this ancestor to get more out of them, essentially. I don't know how to do that. I'm guessing it's just by doing the little quests. I couldn't figure out what these were on the map. I went and visited them eventually, and they were like these weird totem things that we had to destroy, but I wasn't really sure what I was doing. Again, I haven't got a clue. I'm just merrily going around, smashing shit up, fighting enemies, doing some quests, not really sure what the meaning to it is, but enjoying myself while I go around. I mean, you cannot get away from the fact that it is a beautiful game, and it's not even in its final state, and it's still very breathtaking, very ethereal, very crisp and gorgeous, but also like the fantasy of it is delightful, and like these wooden effects, just being in almost like a wizard's tower, it feels like I did. Yeah, so anyway, there you go. It says deepen bond with Orlick to learn more about stuff. So that's interesting, isn't it? Like, how do I deepen that bond? So I'm just going to keep chipping away at that, and we'll come back to Orlick multiple times in the hopes that we're deepening our bond with him.
By Odin Rain, this beast we claim.
Dreams, their meaning like a river, curving beyond sight. Yes, that is a good title. Sinecure, mercenaries of the synod above. If there exists a soulless creature, one need only look skyward.
Roll, bolt!
Oh, boy, sons Zeus.
We waited to get that out for days. You here looking for that monstered up stag, I bet? Oh, nothing really. Just how it lives in a secrecy glade hidden by ancient magics, and how to find said secrecy glade and disenchant said ancient magic. Few drakes and I'm an open scroll. Ah, damn. I thought that was gonna be a good one, that was. Your problem is from the ground. The glade's all puckered up. You need the right totem to tickle it open. Lucky for you, I've got one stashed down in Durmac. Simple as you going down there and fetching it. Look around here. These sludge slingers can't stand the sight of something wild. I don't like this stuff at the best any more than I like snivelling in that crate. Story? No story, really. Sprouted up in a patch just before the sky got kicked down. Had us a clean, wet river. Not like this greasy one. But those spiders fell and that ditty rang out and all you big legs lost your nerve. Well, me and mine got rounded up because me and mine don't hear music the same as you lot. I got away, I got snatched, I got away. So here I stand, tall as I am. Name's Evercut. Might be you use this. One of those talky ode things on the patch. My treat.
I'm going to be honest with you, between meeting Avocot or Avoco, whatever his name was, and getting that thing and being told to go underneath back in the well, because I'd already been down in that well before that you're about to see, I have been running around in circles in this game because I just kept getting so distracted by, look at it, the scenery and just mooching around and exploring. So between me speaking to Avoco and actually going down into the well was probably like an hour or two of me wandering around before I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm supposed to be going down in the well. It kept trying to tell me on the top left of the screen and I was like, I get to it in a bit. But there you go. Seek neath the well where the city fell. And that's what we're going to do.
A relic of pre-Odin wars. The Fire King, Fenzodar, built this place, the Undercity of Dermak. The old traps, sharp as ever.
Synod's collector is dispatched. Scour every yard of that tomb and prepare for him a tribute. These histories must burn, or more grooves will come.
With sludge. The cans are everywhere, huh? I was gonna show you the vault, but I'm good here. Just up ahead and left. You can't miss it. Let's see.
So I don't know if is it Advocate? Avocot. I don't know if he's like going to be our little ally that just guides us around the world slightly. I don't know. He's cute though. He looks like a leafy cabbage crossed with a turtle or something. I don't know what he is, but he's very cute. They've hit the nail on the head there with the cuteness. They're very good at creating awesome things like that, aren't they, DE? And we're down here, I think, looking for another ancestor. I just didn't realise it. And this is one of those things that we have to destroy. It's got like toxic smoke around it. And yeah, we have to destroy it from a distance or take some damage to get in there and smash it up. But I've now figured out how to use my first two abilities that I've unlocked. I still have to unlock my third one, which is linked to the Fae and the Ode Tempest or whatever it was on that beginning page that we looked at with our arm and our metal arm. And you can swap to the other one, I guess, and rank that up. I haven't tried it, but I'm assuming that's how you can do it. And the whole time I've been playing, I've been ranking up like I think it's my ability tree. I'm not really sure. I haven't shown it yet, but I will. I was just trying to figure it out myself.
Good. Now, let your familiar be our guide. I suppose, little genius, in a way, you are. Do you feel that, envoy? The air falls heavy here. A disruption in the lay. Old Jotar wanders near.
There's gruel among you. Synod will have me sky-wheeled with his tribute enlightened. Find the gruel and send them back to the fires of Cup.
Ooh, we got an ancestor's fiery sword, and I'm just going to let this play out for a moment. But we don't get to keep it. But we do meet some very cute little things after we meet up with this second ancestor, which I was utterly stoked about. I mean, if that's a hint of what's to come later, I felt like a badass in that moment. I wasn't poking people with my pole arm anymore. No, I was swinging that flaming sword like a hero of the hour. So I really enjoyed that. I'm hoping we get some more. I haven't figured out what this is, the Ode Tempest and the Vast, but that is leveling up our mastery, I guess, of the weapon and our abilities. I was kind of only half paying attention to what was popping up on the screen and just trying to enjoy playing the game for a moment.
The soul severed, separate, anew. Now to find the aforementioned secret glade. Yes, I know it's not a real word.
So I headed back to the Nightfall because we got this other ancestor to talk to.
I need an eyes to recognize another penitent of ashen allies. My torch is yours.
This is the precise moment I realised those little puffs of smoke or motes by his feet all have teeny tiny googly eyes, and I literally squeed the loudest squee that you will ever squee. Oh my god, I'm mute. And this was the moment, the proper moment I fell in love with this game. Those cute little things at the bottom, I literally had to put it in the chat. Why is no one else having like kittens over the fact that these cute little motes are so cute? I can't even. So yeah, of course I'm going to carry on playing this game now because of them and them only. I'm joking. No, this was a beautiful game so far, and I've literally only played it for a few hours, and I haven't actually got very far into it because I was distracted quite a lot, as you may have been able to tell. So what do you think of Soulframe Preludes? Are you playing it? Are you a Warframer who's come here in hopes that it will be similar to Warframe? Were you disappointed? Were you pleased? Have you just gone to Soulframe Preludes as a completely new player, like never played a DE game before? What's going on, and what do you think? And I don't know much about the lore of it. I am in the Soulframe Preludes Discord, but I've tried to avoid it a little bit because I just want to find my own way and discover it myself. I don't care about spoilers or anything like that. I don't know. I want to experience it as like a brand new experience, I guess, so I can take it at its own face value for whatever it's going to be. And if you're playing it yourself and you're looking at it and going, girl, you have not got very far into it. What the heck have you been playing at? I got distracted, okay? Did you see the scenery? Did you though? I kept looking up because it was so damn beautiful. People were mentioning it in the chat as well. Nighttime sky is breathtakingly beautiful. And it's just all a bit curious and all a bit different and a bit familiar at the same time. And I'm okay with it. So I'm going to carry on playing Soulframe Preludes. I don't know how long it's going to be in this state for. They were talking about the future of Soulframe in 2025, making new announcements. They do have I believe it's a Twitch stream on the 29th of November for Soulframe and Warframe, because obviously they're one and the same family, so I should be watching that and seeing what they're saying. And yeah, we'll catch up then. But if you want to see some more Soulframe Preludes, let me know in the comments and I shall carry on playing. If you don't want me to talk over it, let me know. If you want like an hour of ASMR gaming, let me know. In the meantime, my darling, I'd like to thank you very much for being here, and I do hope to see you again in the next one, no matter what it may be. If you've never watched or played Warframe and you are watching this, go and watch and play Warframe. It's free to play and it's one of the most amazing games I've ever played in my entire life. And feel free to come and join the Discord and talk about it, among other games, and find some gamer buddies over there. We are creating a lovely little happy space, a little corner on Discord. It's growing ever so slowly, but we're getting there, my darling. Thank you again for your support. Like I said, in the meantime, I hope to see you again in the next one, no matter what it may be. But in the meantime, you take care and goodbye.